focus on assessment and execution of a B+L Curl lash set. In order to bring this set to life, I worked with 100% handmade volume. I did work with a mix of 0.05 diameter lashes and 0.07. 0.05 being used on the inner corners because we know those lashes are finer and weaker, so we wanted to keep them dark and full, but healthy. Next, my curl toys. You guys are like, what, B+L Curl? Nobody ever mixes those together, but I promise you, the moment you mix B+L Curl together, there's no going back. It is such a beautiful combination of lash curls. So the B curl really just accentuates the natural curve of the eye. We're not offering lift, we're just rolling with the shape of the eye. So today, to create a beautiful, subtle, but soft and still impactful cat eye set, I wanted to have a smooth transition into that really arched outer corner. So in order to do that, I rolled with the shape and the arch of the eye. So the B curl was really nice because I, again, wasn't lifting, I wasn't doing anything crazy, I was just accentuating that lift that she already had. So I did my B curl from the inner corners in really short lengths, 5mm into 8mm, and my 8mm sat at the point where the eye sat its highest, and from that point the eye started to descend down. So once the eye started to descend, I needed lift in order to bring it up and make that outer corner look more open and elongated. So the 8mm that sat at the highest point, that was my blending section. So that's where I'm blending my B+L curl together. And in order to blend them, what I did was I used my layers to my advantage, and I also alternated between the curls. So on the bottom layer, for just a small section, I brought my B curl a little bit further into my L curl section. My L curl kind of came over on the top layer. And then in the middle layers, I alternated between B-L, B-L, B-L. That is the secret to blending. So my client did luckily have 3 layers. If my client only had 1 layer, I would have had to just alternate it and made that work. It wouldn't have been as smooth, but still would have been lovely. B+L curl really do complement one another nicely. And from that point, I worked from 8mm, and then I quickly transitioned all the way into 13mm. Because I was going for a very subtle result, my 13mm sat on the bottom layer, which sits closest to the eye, and then my top layer, I used 11mm as my longest length. So the set itself actually looked like 11mm, but I got additional darkness by working with my longer length on the bottom layer and then having those lashes meet at the same point along the top, because the bottom layer sits about 2mm lower than the top layer. So in order to make those lashes meet nicely at the top point, then I had to use 2mm longer on the bottom layer than the top layer. So those 13mm really did only look like 11mm. You can see for yourself once you watch this set come to life. Let me know what you think, by the way. I'm really excited to hear your opinion on what you think the set looks like and if you would recreate it on a client. Product-wise today, I worked with our Gripopotamus Slim Boot Tweezer, which is my absolute go-to for handmade volume of any sort. And I also worked with my Crane Ultra Tweezer and my Sunset Ultra Tweezer for isolation. My glue choice today being Quickie Adhesive, which is our 1-second cure time. I love this for handmade volume because it cures really fast. I'm not sitting there holding my bond for a really long time, which is really nice when you're working with handmaids. You want to make that connection really quickly. Okay, I'm not going to go into any more details. That's my assessment. And now let's watch this set come to life. Don't forget to let me know what you think, and while we're at it, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell so that you're always notified when we post new assessment videos just like this one, or anything lash related. Who knows what we're gonna post next? So stay tuned. went into a vortex.
She did.